Hi, good morning. Yes, I apologize for the accidental cut of yesterday's uh, live stream. Naputol lang ang internet abruptly. Well, anyway, uh, continue to part three. Well, when the brother Robert Liao, worshipful brother Robert Liao offered me the deal, I'll take the I'll take it and place an order worth 300,000 during that time. However, after just 2 3 weeks, ubos eh. So I tried to call him again, requesting if I could be able to be offered the same. But he refused and he even told me, bro, when I open the deal to you is I told you it's one invoice. Isang invoice. So meaning to say, regardless of the amount, I placed the order. Serve niya yun. So hindi ko na-catch eh. So I missed the deal. So sabi niya, should you ever decide this time to place an order worth 3 to 5 billion, offer ko sa'yo yan, bigay ko sa'yo. Pero hindi, you place only 300,000 worth. So yun lang. So he apologized and explained to me that he is not a factory and he do not produce that, but he buy it by bulk and sell it by wholesale. So naintindihan ko. So that was it. The lesson I am trying to drive here is that is how we fellow Mason treat and trust each other, support each other without hesitation, without reservation. Well, we end to that. Now we start telling you about how business today. The stage of the stage and the art of doing business has been continuously changed decade by decade, decade by decade. Iba-iba eh. So, the theory of buying and selling in business is only but kindergarten, elementary thoughts. That's why in today's time, if you go into business, it is no joke. You have to understand. You have to understand the market in the world. You have to understand your country's market, the strength, the volume. You have to understand your regional location, study the population, get the basic information of Philippines Statistic Authority Office, and study the GDP of its province, and then you can decide where to jump or where to start your business. The business today is no longer the same as they were before. Even the dealing in business no longer the same. Before, pinapautang ka lang eh. Di ba? Before, they give you term. Today, they no longer do that. There must be an involvement of equity. Of, let's say, there is always a down payment on that. Iba ang panahon ngayon, iba noon. And then, the drive of inflationary effect sa business is also a big factors. Like today, so many things that the television news are telling us that any moment from now there will be a price increases on so many commodities, so many items. It will drive prices up. That I guarantee. Why? Because the businessman, the manufacturer, the fabricator was been suffering for 3 consecutive years of price increases. It's about time for them to regain the profit. Babawi yan sila lahat. So again, si Wendy Lacrosse, kawawa na naman. That's just the that's just the way the business is. Sometimes, tiis ka muna, plant so that you can have a harvest. Tiis ka muna para kumita ka. Lahat naman tayo tumitiis eh. And every one of us, remember, every one of us born a poor individual. Why? Lumabas tayo sa mama natin. Ni damit, wala tayo eh. We cannot see everything. And just we trust our mother. That's why trust is also a part in life. Ang ang development of a financial success is through persuasion. Kailangan resilient ka rin. Patience, striving, and good timing. Yeah, the word is good timing. That's the key. Kasi ako, I done a big mistake too. Process of my learning in business. It was a big mistake not to understand the correct timing. Kumbaga sa salita, in due time, in God's time. So do not be in a hurry. The world is still revolving. When we have sunset today, we have sunrise tomorrow. If there is raining days today, there will be sunshine tomorrow. Yun ang buhay. That's how we learn how to live, to survive. And in the coming decade, labanan ng mga giant economy. It will be the battle between two giant economic power, the US dollars and the BRICS currency. Yeah, if we do not understand this again, it will affect us greatly. Meantime, I share you some good music first. And to be honest, this is actually a jingle music. I've tried to locate it. Meantime, I am trying to say also that the power of US dollar is still superior as of today. As of today, I never say it is forever. because the number one number one superpower in this world is still the United States of America. So the United States dollar is still the most reliable. However, the joining forces of the BRICS countries like Brazil, Russia, India, China, Saudi Arabia, and all others, there are a lot of them. They refuse to accept, not to refuse. They they were, how do you call it there? They prefer not to use the US dollar. Prefer not to use the US dollar. That's just how is the world doing now. So if you place importation in China, they will ask you, how would you pay? China yuan or US dollar? They both will accept US dollar and Chinese yuan, but they treat Chinese yuan more better, more soft compared to the US dollar. And again, the uh, the country will suffer a devaluation. This time, pag magdiwalay tayo today, for example, this year, medyo masakit-sakit because we lost already trillion of money. And our government is still in the problem of doing good economic decision. And our military is still purchasing military equipment. So importation means dollar. Although in the bright side of that is that the Malampaya discovery of oil benefited us, and we will feel it honestly. The feeling of good advantage, the benefits of this Malampaya will be felt 6 months to 1 year after. Doon, medyo makahinga tayo. But for now, wala pa rin eh. Kasi ang investor, recovery period pa sila. So, priority pa nila yung sarili kaysa uh, profit sharing. Although they were giving up profit sharing, pero not so huge. Of course, gradual lang yan eh. Ang extraction nila kasi gradual din eh. They start from small volume, increases until they reach the peak. And the onshore discovery also in Mindanao will contribute for a good economy too. Our discovery in Mindanao, Cebu, and in economic side, the subway system, the railway system in Mindanao, the subway system in Metro Manila will give credit also. The opening of the new Manila International Airport in Bulacan will also trigger huge number of tourism. The Clark will also contribute. However, the most important thing we have to do today, in my opinion, is we have to develop